Hey, I'm glad you're here. I'm Jerome in the Boise, Idaho area. I am a small business coach, a startup coach. And today's topic is the top 5 reasons to own a business, to start a business. Because people ask me all the time, why do it? And why take that time and that energy? So I thought it might be a great time to chat with you and share with you my thoughts on why it is so important to start a business, especially in today's world. This is 2023, and lots and lots of things are happening worldwide, inflation, and all kinds of things that create uncertainty. And that's another reason why I think having a small business is so important to have. But number one is destiny. What do I mean by that? When you start a small business, whether you choose to partner with us or do something different, do a brick and mortar, do a virtual business, do an internet business, there's so many great things you can do now. But when you do, you change the course of your life. The people you meet, the things you do, the things you learn, the places you go, the doors that start to open up for you, and your self-esteem and your confidence because you took the time to start something. They're immeasurable. And when it comes to realizing that you can change the course of your life, your destiny, where you want to go, what you want to create, especially on the income side. And so that's number one. Number one is destiny, is where you're going to go with your life. And number two, the second reason to start a business is what I call impact. And by impact, I mean it's immediate. The good Lord has given us one life for most of us. That's it. My wife runs an assisted care facility, and they're mostly people who are 90 plus, up to 105. And she often asks them, hey, what were you different? Maybe you've heard in the past, you've heard people saying, hey, I have no regrets. Well, I think it's BS. Everybody has regrets. And so many of the people that she's and her staff are taking care of, they often say that they wish they had loved more. They wish they had done more. They wish they had risked more and done more for others. Impact is about the here and now, things you can change, not only about your own life, your own finances, but also about the changes you can bring to others because you started a business. Number three, so first we have destiny, changing your destiny. Number two is having more impact on the world around you. Number three is influence. And by influence, I mean long-term impact. Influence is about the impact that you have on others, your family, your coworkers, your business partners. Influence is about the long-term changes that happen in your life and the lives of others because you made a decision to start a business. As you change, the world around you begins to change because it's reacting to you. You're different and you started something. And so things around you will begin to change too. I guarantee it. I promise it. I know it. I've been there. Number four, of course, what's so important for everybody, all of us, is income. More income. Remember when I told you about my wife and the 90-somethings and the myth of no regrets? Well, according to Daniel Pink, the author of best-selling books on work and behavior, including his latest book, The Power of Regret, people underestimate the chances of getting a yes from themselves and from others, and they overstate the negative consequences of simply asking themselves to be more, to do more, asking others for help. And when I say that, when I read that about in Daniel Pink's book, I was thinking of my dad. My dad always said, if you don't ask, you can't get. And of course, my kids know that really well now because I've said it so many hundreds of times over the years. If you don't ask, you can't get. Let me tell you how often he practiced that. So maybe when you were growing up, your parents dragged you to events like weddings and funerals and church events and things like that. And often there was a buffet line, there was a potluck, and it kind of embarrassed me. But my dad was always the first one in line. And because he said, God helps those who help themselves first. Because when you help yourself first, you have the pick of what's in front of you. And so that's a little example of if you don't ask, you can't get. Be there first. The first law of success, show up. The last key point in starting a business for you is what I call peace of mind. You could also call it liberation. You know, one of the things I coach on is you can't get what you want. You get what you picture. You have to see it. You have to see it in your mind before you can hold it. Before you can hold it in your hands. And when you think about, after you start a business, when you think about your self-esteem, when you imagine your confidence by bringing in an extra $500 or $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000 a month because you took the time and energy to start a business, then that's insurmountable. I mean, it will never, ever, ever go away. It's fantastic. So you made a decision to change your world. You made a decision to change your destiny, and that's what's really, really so important. So let me get rid of these things that came up on my phone. So I want to finish up here with the poem Invictus. Maybe you've heard of it. Maybe you haven't. Nelson Mandela, the anti-apartheid leader who was jailed for 27 years for his activism, and in 1994 became the president of South Africa. He regularly recited this poem called Invictus during his imprisonment, and he also taught it to his fellow prisoners. Invictus, meaning undefeated in Latin, was written in 1875 by William Ernest Henley. And it goes like this. Out of the night that covers me, dark as a pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. In the fell clutch of circumstance, I have not winced nor cried aloud. Under the bludgeonings of chance, my head is bloody, but unbowed. Beyond this place and wrath of tears lies but the horror of the shade, and yet the menace of the years finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how strait the gate, how charged with punishments the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. So I hope you'll take these 5 points and mull over them and think about them. And if you're in a position in life where you need to add more income, you need to add something that creates more value in your life, that helps you and your family and others out, think of these 5 points. Number 1, changing your destiny, changing where you're going to go. Number 2, the impact that you can have on others. Number 3, the influence, the long-term impact and changes you can make because of a decision you made. Number 4, the income that you can create. And that can be immediate income, or it may take a while to start building up. But it will, and it can happen, and it has happened for millions and millions. So I invite you to take a look and join us if you want to either have some coaching or jump in and join us in our business. And last, number 5, is peace of mind, is liberation, because you have that ability to have more money in the bank, more money on that debit card, more money on that credit card. You can go where you want, you can do what you want to do, and that huge amount of peace of mind will be wonderful. It'll last a long time. It'll last a lifetime. I was going to say it was going to last a long time. It will last a long time. It will last a lifetime, and you'll be so happy and so proud that you made a decision to do something to change your life and bring in more income, more influence, more impact. And I am so glad that you took a few minutes to pop by here. Be the boss. I called my channel that because it's so important to be the boss of your life. So thanks for being here. I'll see you on the next one.